To a lot of people that know, I was once born and raised as a Jehovah's Witness growing up and had decided to leave. Know that I'm no longer one, obviously. And I'll never understand how they'll contradict everything over and over again. They do this all the time. They've been doing this for so many years, and anyone who's left the cult organization can confirm this, that they like to lie all the time to people and everything. One of the things I've noticed growing up as a Jehovah's Witness is magic. That's a big thing for Jehovah's Witnesses. Apparently this earth and all this stuff was created by Jehovah and all, quote unquote Jehovah, and all this other glorious stuff or whatever. I don't get how they can say Jehovah created this when that was created by magic. That's considered magic. They don't like when people play with magic that has nothing to do with Jehovah's Witnesses or whatever. But yet, apparently Jehovah magically created the earth and all this stuff we have around us and us humans and all that. I want to try to keep this video as short as I can. If it goes about 10 minutes, sorry in advance. Those who decide to stick around, thank you for listening to what I have to say, and I know there's a few of you that will decide to stick around to listen. When they contradict things, they get caught up in it. They get caught up in their own lies. Because, again, they've been repeating it for so many years since it was started by the man Charles T. Russell. A lot of people, Jehovah's Witnesses or not, would not know who Charles T. Russell is. He's the man that happened, correct me if I'm wrong if you want, started the cult and wound up getting caught in his own lie. Started to spread it to people, known as a catalyst. If a lot of you don't know what a catalyst is, it's a disease, basically. And anyone who obviously decides to become a Jehovah's Witness, they get sucked into that negativity, and don't realize they're being lied to. They're constantly being lied to, because the Jehovah's Witnesses are so far into their lies, they don't know how to get out of it. So they'd rather just continue lying. Along, again, as I mentioned, about magic. I know it's kind of weird metaphor, I guess, but it's very similar to contradicting. Because, again, they'd rather talk about Jehovah creating all this stuff, and yet that's still considered magic, or Jesus walking on water. I don't get how, and in most cults and Catholics and all that, say that Jesus walked on water. That's magic. That's considered magic. You don't like when pagans do magic, or spells, or whatever, but yet when you talk about your God, or Jesus, or whoever, whenever you talk about him, or them, doing all this stuff, you talk about magic. Anyway, another thing I want to get around to, kind of almost a surface basic topic, is the terminology faithful and discreet slave. a lot of you probably don't know the true meaning behind faithful and discreet slave. If you don't know what discreet means, I'm sure a lot of you do, regardless if you're Jehovah's Witness or not. A lot of you, if you don't know what discreet means, look it up, you'll see it firsthand, then you'll know the meaning and all that. Slave. Everyone knows what a slave is. Again, regardless if you're Jehovah's Witness or not. What I'm basically going to get at is you're secretly a slave, a faithful slave that is, to the cult organization of Jehovah's Witnesses. And again, as I've said throughout the video, you guys who are Jehovah's Witnesses are caught up in their lies because they lied so much that, again, they don't know how to get out of their own lie. One thing I've also noticed is, I want to get around to this, is the sexual or verbal abuse or whatever that goes on in the cult. They don't want people to know the scandals they're doing. When they had decided to move out of New York headquarters to Warwick, Rhode Island, I'll give a short example really quick. Again, them contradicting things because they're so caught up in their own lies. I've noticed that they're selling their property from $600 million to $1 billion, if I'm reading that correctly. Their building headquarters is because they want to get out of the scandals, the lies, or the sexual allegations that's going on in the cult. They don't want people to know that of what they're doing. They don't, because as long as you have 2 or more witnesses that saw it firsthand, they'd rather disown you for being honest and all that stuff. That's what I mean. From the moment I said that, they'd rather contradict their own lies. Again, that's basically the same thing. They'd rather contradict their own lies to people because of the negativity they've created over and over and over for so many years. Because they're so caught up in their own lie, they don't know how to get out of it. So they'd rather just continue to lie to people, no matter what life event that's happened, sexually, verbally, whatever event happened. They don't want people to know the truth about them. Because then, again, and I've said before, they've had this terminology for so many years, up until like 2-3 years. They changed it to governing body. Their terminology was faithful and discreet slave. Again, Google, if a lot of you don't know what discreet means, anyone who's a Jehovah's Witness that is watching the video, and the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that stuck around long enough to watch this video, thank you. It means a lot to me. The Jehovah's Witnesses, and the ones that have decided to be sucked into their negativity and pulled into it, you guys are secretly a faithful slave to the cult organization. As again, I know I've kind of repeated it, but I wanted to clarify to people because I want this message to get around to people, knowing how much they contradict everything. Literally, they'll contradict anything. They'll keep repeating the same stories over and over and over again. And if they want to change it up, they'll just keep doing it. Because again, there's a term that I like to use called catalyst. And regardless if you're Jehovah's Witness or not, if you don't know what a catalyst means, it means spreading a disease, even metaphorically or spiritually spreading a disease, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, I want this video to get around because people have been lied to for so many years, and a lot of us that have left realize the bullshit they spread to people. But again, they're so caught up in their own lie, they don't know how to get out of it. They'd rather just continue to lying to people because that's all they know how to do. All they know how to do is lie to people. The ones that have been faithful in the cult for so long that they're stuck, they can't get out because, again, they're being lied to. And they're being mind controlled. That's what it really is. They contradict things, they mind control people because that's rather what they do than be honest. Again, like I said earlier, about the sexual and verbal abuse, if there's more than 2 witnesses, they rather not get into it because they don't want people to know the truth about them. How distasteful they are, what they do to families, they destroy people's families, and again, the reason they're selling their building, their headquarters in New York for $600 million to $1 billion is because they don't want people to know about all the sexual allegations that's been done to the Jehovah's Witnesses and the ones that leave. They're shunned by their own family because they don't want people to know the truth about them. And so they'd rather shut out the ones that are truthful and honest unless there's more than 2 people. Which is really a really messed up thing to do to people. But again, they've been so caught up in their own lie, they contradict to people everything they say. So, this video went longer than I expected. Those who stuck around to watch and listen to what I have to say, thank you. Hopefully this video gets around to people. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know this, but again, if not, I just want to share it. I want Jehovah's Witness or not, I want people to know the truth about Jehovah's Witnesses. How evil they really are behind closed doors. That's what a lot of people don't see. And that's pretty much all I got. So, hope this video again gets around. I really want to inform this to people. I just kind of gave little metaphors here and there. I know it kind of wasn't really in relation with the magic part, but it kind of was, I guess, more about how they contradict things and stuff like that. So, again, share this video around. I really want people to hear this and see this and all that good stuff. Thank you. Have a nice day.